Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into this video. And a special hello and thank you to our Windward Software users across the Windward universe. Now, my name is Robert Clark. I'm with Windward Software Systems, Inc. And the purpose of this video is to demonstrate multiple location handling in a non-AIC database. Now, what did I just say? So to start off, Windward has a feature or a module integrated into the database for some users called AIC or Advanced Inventory Location. Now, not many customers have this, and there's multiple reasons for that. It does create more of a workflow with moving stock from one location to another. And let me demonstrate just show you just a little bit about this product. So I've got on my screen two different data sets. I've got my regular data set with not the advanced inventory location, and the other data set that has multiple locations per an item. So it does require, there's a cost with it. It requires data restart or starting anew because of the way the AIC is intertwined in the database. It does require you to start anew with what we call a data restart. But just to briefly show you what that does, we have this particular item is in multiple locations. I've got a 10 in stock with 3 available, and so on and so forth with the other locations. I can have pick priorities and put away priorities. So it's a very nice feature. For anyone interested in a demonstration, our software salespeople can show that to you, but I'm not going to be talking about AIC today. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one down. I am going to be discussing handling multiple locations when there's not really a multiple location setup. What does that mean? So here we have some items that are in some locations, and some of them have what looks like multiple locations. So let's open this product up. So to the human eye, this looks like multiple locations, 4 different locations, 92A, 36C, so on and so forth. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my video off here. But it's in the database, it's not really multiple locations. The database is looking at this as one location. So this presents challenges when doing the physical inventory count. We have a physical inventory count module when trying to do a periodic stock count where we're literally taking a sheet of items and looking for them. Now, some might argue, actually many would argue that that's not the right way to count anyway, the sheet to shelf method. Rather, we should be doing the shelf to sheet method. Instead of having a list of items on a sheet and going looking for them, we should more ideally be going to that location and scanning everything we see. Now, there is a caveat with that, which I'll explain towards the end of the video. But for now, let's just go with that shelf to sheet method using an uninitialized stock count. Just going to call this location 92A, because that's the location I'm sending my scanner, which is me, by the way. I'm the scanner. I'll be counting that location. Now, there's quite a few different options here. I'm not going to get into these options today. Working with a professional services specialist like myself, consultant, will help you consult on the best settings. But I will explain to you that I like to exclude stock on work orders because my warehouse is segregated. I have a will call area where I put stock away that's being shipped out, and obviously stock on trucks. If I'm not invoicing them till I have confirmation of delivery, then we should be excluding stock on work orders. So I'm using the uninitialized stock count method, which basically gives me a blank slate. As you'll see, a blank slate. There's nothing here. I'm going to clear the oversolds when processed. That's typically recommended. And then I'm going to go do a scan batch. I'll create a new scan batch for that department, retail 1, and it's a direct scan using the direct scan method. So I'll go ahead and click build to build this scan batch. Then I can start scanning. So let me grab my scanner. It was charging a bit earlier. It was a bit low on juice, but let me go grab it and let's start scanning. So everything so far is in location 92A. We're counting that wall. We're going shelf to sheet. I scan it multiple times. It puts multiple on the scan sheet. Now I've scanned an item that's in multiple locations. So now that tells my scanner, me, I need to also go to locations 36C, S11B, and 76B to complete the work. But I'll keep scanning everything that's in this location. So I've got this, so I've got 2 items so far that are in multiple locations. So we know that we're scanning shelf to sheet, so we've scanned everything in location 92A. I've finished my work now, but now I have to go walk over to these other locations and see what is in those locations. I'm going to scan for 36C, S11B, and 76B. I've got 2 there. And then the same thing for the base item. I walk over to 36C and I've got 1, 2 over there. So this, I've basically now completed the scanning for these locations. So we know we're going shelf to sheet, looking for 92A, location, everything on the wall for 92A. And then we're also walking over to these other locations because obviously we can see these items are in multiple locations. So at this point, I save my scan batch, then I click apply to apply it to the main count batch, the 92 count entry sheet, count entry sheet. Then I go back to my count entry sheet. There's everything I counted, and then I would simply process this, and that completes the count entry. Now, there's one little caveat with the shelf to sheet method. It's really good at adjusting stock for stuff that I know I have in stock, but what if there was an item that Windward thought I had in stock, but it wasn't on the shelf, and we thought we had 3 in stock? Well, obviously, if I'm not adjusting the item, it's going to remain there. So you could handle that with a transfer, with using a transfer invoice method to go adjust stock for items that are showing up as they're on the shelf, but you don't actually have them. So we can handle that in a sort of off the grid type of method, not using the physical inventory count sheet, and using something we call transfer invoice. A transfer invoice is a way to internally adjust stock, which also positively or negatively affects the general ledger. But we have user manuals on that process that I can share with you, but to adjust those items. But in the meantime, this is a great way to go find things that are on the shelf, scan it from the shelf to the sheet, and we've effectively done a cycle count for that location. I hope you found that helpful and look forward to seeing you on other videos or in a one-on-one session or at one of our upcoming workshops. Thank you.